Hey guys, Jason the X for SC&S Live, powered by Cinelinks.com, and I've got a big time review for you because you're looking at me and that's how it goes when I'm dealing with something large. But guys, it is a treat to review the new Playmates Voltron 84 Lions. Now, this is the Voltron I grew up with. I, of course, have the other Lions, and I really enjoyed them. But these guys, I mean, we heard about them, there was a little bit, and then I started seeing them on shelves. It took a little while to get all of them together, but I have them now, and we're going to take a look at them. So let's start off with the Lions individually. So the first line we're going to be taking a look at is the yellow Lion. You can see you got that nice Voltron 84 over here. I love that. The classic Voltron over here, and this nice grid design. You see legendary yellow Lion classic, and of course how the figures combine. And yeah, forms a 16-inch classic Voltron, combine all the lines. Yes, they have this now streaming on Netflix, but, you know, do they have the original series on Netflix? I actually have to look at that. So, yeah, there's a look at the packaging. Nothing on the sides. On the back, you look at the classic legendary Lion. As you can see, he does come with some weapons. The razor wheel, the dual missile launcher, and a jaw blade. And he's got his gun on his back, too. You know, packaging is one thing, but here is a look at the Lion himself. Very cool. I love this design. This is the classic. There are a couple things that he does that the old one didn't do, and I dig that. He doesn't have any cockpits or anything. I honestly think this is one of the best, besides Soul Chogokin, that we've ever gotten. Now, like I say, he does come with a couple things, and these weapons can attach to multiple ports all over the body. Well, all over the legs. You got 4 of them. You can take the razor wheel off and pop it over here if you like. And I mean, it spins a little bit. It's not free spinning. You can spin it. But you pop that off. You also have his, a dual missile launcher over here. It's got a little trigger button here. You just kind of... And you can see it's only got the missile part on one side. But, you know, does what it needs to do. Pop that right off. There's a look at the launcher. Just a little bit of yellow paint. Mainly so that when you have these guys separated, you can tell which weapons go to which ones. And he also has the jaw blade, which we didn't get with the legendary Defender. I really like that. You can open it up. The jaws are spring-loaded. And they have a little tab here that's going to allow the weapon to tab into the mouth of the Lion. Not bad. It's hollow on one side, but I'm pretty sure they did that to cut down on costs. Which, these guys, I mean, I bought them for about roughly 18 bucks. So that's pretty much a deal. So it's gray plastic cast with the yellow paint over it. I see a little bit of scraping on mine right about here, but it's not that bad. Nothing I would complain about. He also has this gun on his back, which can rotate up and down. The legs are jointed here at the knee and at the foot. Now, whereas the legendary Defender ones had very, very soft claws, these are soft, but I don't feel as though they are as soft. The front, these will go down and up, bend at the knee, rotate there. One gripe, he does have visible screw holes, but what are you going to do? The toy needs to be locked together somehow. The head can go up and down on this joint here. It's very tight. You can hear it squeaking in there. And you've got the joint here that usually aids in transformation to go up and down. Like I said, the jaw is spring-loaded. Got a nice little... Probably was very loud. The tails are not flexible like on the Legendary Defender Yellow one. But yeah, and to turn him into a foot, which is what he's going to do, you're going to bring the head up, take these legs, which are going to serve as your heels, bring them down, take these legs and fold them up. If you're familiar with classic Voltron, none of this should be surprising to you, and the tail goes down. It will fit in, the leg of the Black Lion will fit into this slot here, which is spring-loaded. And you've got a little lever here that will assist in releasing it once you have the Black Lion connected to. So there you go. There's the yellow lion. And next up is the blue lion. And, you know, classic blue lion design. Box that it comes in, piloted by Allure. Same thing, pretty much. Just got different artwork for the lion down there. And classic, legendary blue lion. You can see he does, well, I don't know. It's piloted by Allure, but it's still blue lion. Got the jaw blade, different weapons, how it looks on the back. Not too much different from the yellow lion's packaging. Throw that down. And here we have the lion itself. And actually, I shouldn't have thrown that down because I can't read what this weapon is. It's just a missile launcher and a beam emitter is what that one's called. So as you can see, like I said, you can plug that into multiple ports on the leg. Same articulation as the yellow lion, except it does not have the gun pod up there. You see you got some blue paint on this little thing here, this beam emitter. Little blue on the side there. Not much to this. I mean, it's nice to have these little extras, but not necessarily needed. You got a little button here on the side that you can fire the missile with. It's got the little 3 missile launcher here, 3 warheads, 1 peg, and that just pops right off. Of course, blue paint on it to accent what lion it comes with. To accent. I said accent. Accent. Whatever. And of course, you got the jaw blade, and probably one of the jaw blades I really like. The green lion has one just like it, only a little bit shorter. So I really like this one. Kind of a hole in the hilt here, around the jaw. And these are pretty sturdy plastic. I think they would have made something a little bit softer like the tails or whatever, but yeah, I mean, they're rounded off. There's no danger if you manage to hurt yourself with this. Wow, okay, you managed to hurt yourself with a plastic toy. So anyway, says the guy who got shot in the eye by his son with a Nerf gun yesterday. Same articulation with yellow. Up and down on the head. We'll go back and forth to the side slightly. Get the joint up front. Tail will go up and down. But same articulation in the legs. I actually think these are the same legs. Nope, they're not the same legs. They do have differences. I want to prep this one for leg mode. Blue goes up like that. Tail goes in. And we got some stompers here now. And the next lion on deck is going to be green. And as you can see, green is a little bit smaller because it's going to be an arm. But that's pretty much been the case for all of the Voltrons that we've had in the past. Packaging is the same, except showing you it is the classic legendary green lion. And the weapons are, of course, a missile launcher, jaw blade, and a battering spike is what that little, I don't know, it's kind of lame looking. I guess it just hips him into there. So yeah. So you got the missile launcher here, got a button on the front or the top. That like went right into my finger. You got this just weird thing here. Kind of missing. The paint doesn't always go all the way down on the gray part. Blah 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 blah. I can't really talk, but yeah, it's there. I don't really care about these weapons. I do care about the jaw blades because the jaw blades are cool. You see, this is Pidge's. Like I said, very similar to Blue's a bit. Doesn't have the forks out front, but you know, kind of looks like it. Articulation, you can twist at the head. Jaw, of course, is spring-loaded like the other ones. Articulation at the leg. This joint. And the claw. And these tails are made of a softer material than the other lion, so they actually will go into the body. And here we have the last limb. We've got the red lion. Probably my favorite. I've always liked red. And of course, same packaging, classic legendary classic legendary red lion. He has a missile launcher, laser gun, and of course his jaw blade. What we're seeing on the package there. And his missile launcher is huge. I mean, it's probably the most obtrusive of all of them. It just really sticks out. Of course, like I said, you can attach those to all the legs by its peg. Missile chute. Once again, the 3 missile launcher here. Pop that off of there. They are a little bit tight. And you got his laser cannon doohickey thing on the side. Come off of there. Come off. There we go. And there's the weapon itself. Got a little targeting thing on top. Hollow on the other side. Try not to drop things on the table because I know my microphone's on there. And of course you got the jaw blade. Same tab as all the other lines use. Here's this kind of like that sickle design on one side and the curved stabby portion on the other side. I guess you could stab somebody with either. No. I know knives. That ratcheted head movement. Also, you can use this. It's more on the body. Same thing with the green line for Pidge. Joints there. And, of course, that rubbery tail again. And last up is the black line. Of course, the biggest and the centerpiece of the whole Voltron thing. Comes in the biggest box. Of course, it is the biggest lion. Here's a look at the box. You got Voltron on the side over here. See how it combines into all of its lions. And on the back, you got some things and stuff. Yes, he talks. He has electronics. And it's reminiscent of the 80s property. But I'm going to admit it's just as annoying as the black lion on the Legendary Defender series. So, what you have here is... I'll get into the sounds in just a second. But, yeah, you do have a very cool looking black lion. I've always loved the black lion. It's been my favorite. But it's easy to make it your favorite because... You know, it's the centerpiece. I mean, I like red, but black lion was always the biggest and coolest, so everybody liked black. So, as far as the articulation on this guy, you got the toes here, nice ratchets. Got it at the elbow. This whole part will twist. It only goes about that far up and that far back, and that's going to play into the transformation, of course. You got the wings on the back, but it's more for Voltron. They are articulated. Nice heavy ratchets in the legs because these will be the legs for Voltron. I don't know. Black always had like a problem with like how the legs look. It's probably the least lion-like as far as the back legs. And it's mainly because it has to turn into Voltron. You do have a twisting. And there's a nice little soft ratchet in the head. The jaw will close. It's not spring-loaded. But if you close it, you have to worry about the face coming down. But you can just pop that up. Not very easily. Get up there. And he has something like a cannon in his mouth, but you can't really do anything with it. It's at the bottom of the jaw. Like I said, you have electronics in this guy. The on-off switch is right here, and no sound effect when it turns on. Wait, does he have waist articulation? No waist articulation. And the tail will go up and down, too. Nice soft ratchet here. But let's start, because there are a lot of phrases on this guy, so we'll start kind of cycling through them. Yeah, sound effect.
The galaxy is about to be secure.
Sure.
Form Voltron. Form Voltron. They'll soon be defeated by Voltron, defender of the universe. Activate laser blades.
Even though he doesn't come with the mouth blade.
We will defend this planet. Lotor, your evil forces will never defeat us.
Mind you, the speaker is down here. You see the Voltron chest right there.
Hagar's Robeast is about to have a bad day. Form Voltron. We will defend this planet. Hagar's Robeast is about to have a bad day.
And here's where it just gets random.
The galaxy is about to be secure. Form Voltron. Activate laser blades.
Okay, I think we've made it through all of them. So, yeah, there's Black Lion. And since I have Black here, I'm going to go ahead and get into a comparison with the Legendary Defender version. So, roughly about the same size, a little bit lower on the Legendary Defender Black Lion here, but maybe just because of how I have the legs done. But, yeah, I honestly did not have any problems with the new Legendary Defender line's design. I think it's pretty cool. But I am still partial to the original. Side by side, I actually think both of these guys look very, very good. Also to compare, here are our two red lions, classic and legendary defender versions. So you can see, yeah, pretty good. And here we have the two green lions. And definitely like a little bit smaller in stature. And here we have a comparison to the blue lion from Legendary Defender and Classic. And honestly, on this one, I think I like the blue lion's design better, just because it looks more cat-like. This looks kind of like a dog. Always thought it kind of looked like a dog. So, yeah, just comparing the two. And lastly, we have the Legendary Yellow with the Classic Yellow, and still kind of that, just that heavier armor design, but you know, it's very bulky. And Hunk's line, they were always kind of similar and just a few slight things on the classics. But yeah, definitely not as distinctive as the 4 lines are in Legendary Defender, but still very cool. So now that we've done all that, the last 2 accessories I want to go over are the ones that come with the green line, which is the shield. And as you can see, it's the classic Voltron design, but it is a boring gray plastic. Now, I plan to paint this, but also he comes with the sword here, and the blazing sword. Not very blazing. It is kind of dim, kind of dull. I plan to paint this. I mean, we're all custom. Some of us are customizers out there. And I plan to just paint this like a very nice silver. Put some accents on it. It'd be easy, but yeah, just a plain dull gray plastic for them. But anyway, let's go ahead and start combining these. Of course, I took these out of the transformation because I didn't do the comparison.
They'll soon be defeated by Voltron.
Yes,
Defender of the
yes,
universe.
yes, they will. Yes, I'm leaving the electronics on, and I don't exactly like the electronics. A lot of people do. I kind of wish they used voice clips instead of whatever they use, especially with the Legendary Defender version. I wish they had just taken some clips from the show. I understand that could have been difficult to do, but contracts and everything. So anyway, to form the arms, we just want to take the legs of green here. Very simple. Just collapse it like that. And the tails, you want to take them and just go ahead and wedge them all the way in. There's kind of a lip around the end of the tail, which is going to just kind of, you got to kind of work it a little bit. That'll fit in there, and it'll sit snugly. That way it's totally compressed, and you've got yourself an arm. And there's the connection peg right there. Same thing with red. Just going to close up the legs. Not much to it. Same thing with the tail. Just go ahead and push it in there if it goes. It actually was easier than green a bit. There we go. Tail's in there. Now we're going to take black.
Your evil forces will never defeat us.
We got these big leg joints here. Go ahead and lock them all together so everything's flush. Take the arms. You have these panels here that will open up. You got to kind of angle the paw a little bit. Or no, you don't. Just close it up, lay it flat. There you go. Rotate the shoulders all the way around.
The galaxy is about to be secure. Form Voltron.
How fitting. And then the head, of course, you can just bring that down. And unfold the ears to make those little horns on the Voltron. And take the wings on the back. It's going to happen a couple times. Fold those down. Spin them up.
Voltor, your evil forces will never defeat us.
And they're actually pegged in up there, and you can bring them down. They fit. Those cutouts fit right behind the legs of the black lion. Legs. Take them, make sure they're straight, and
Yellow Lion, leaping into action.
I think this leg needs to be straightened out just a little bit. There we go.
Blue Lion, coming in.
So you got some different voice actors there. Take green, and if you remember Pidge's voice from the original cartoon.
Set to go, Keith.
Forgot to pull out the peg for red, but
Ready to form Voltron. Activate interlocks. Dynatherms connected. Infracells up. Mega thrusters are go. Form feet and legs. Form arms and body. And I'll form the head. Go Voltron. Come on, team. Ready to form Voltron. Activate.
I don't know why it just repeated, but we'll let it go.
Dynatherms connected. Infracells up. Mega thrusters are go. Form feet and legs. Form arms and body. And
I formed it. It's right here. So like I said, this is an excellent representation of the 84 Voltron. How tall is he? This guy, from the top of the head, comes up to about 16 inches, roughly. Just under 16. To the top of the wings, you're looking at almost like 18 and a half. Very, very cool Voltron. Now, those tabs that were in the red and green lion's mouth, they will go into, well, the slots will go into these tabs on the weapons. But first off, let's get into the articulation on this guy, because you got the heads can actually serve as kind of like some ankle articulation.
Yes, that got him.
And yeah, that got him. All the articulations you use with the legs, you're going to use to...
Ready to form Voltron.
Okay, we already did that. We already did that.
Dynatherms connected.
No, we already did that. No, not doing it again. I'll try turning it off and turn it back on. Oh, if you turn it off and then turn it back on. Oh, there you go. So we do have the electronics.
Kids, talk to me. Are you hurt? No, I can handle it. We've got to hang on somehow. I trust you, Keith. Activate laser blades. We've got to hang on somehow. Kids, talk to me. Are you hurt? I'd be hurt if you didn't ask. Activate laser blades. You got it, Keith. Let's put him out of business. Yeah, with Voltron. Let's form blazing sword. Yes, that got him. Activate laser blades. Yeah! Your time is running out, Zarkon. Princess, we're a team, and we really need you. You came through when we needed you. Let's put him out of business. Hey, save some action for me. Let's form blazing sword.
All right, I think we made it. I think we made it through all of them. I'm going to turn it off. Yes, I think some of them are pretty lame. Anyway, okay. Articulation, yeah, in the leg, you do have, you can use the paws and the head to kind of get some ankle articulation. You do have some nice articulation here at the joint right here on the leg, but you can also use this one up top, which is a lot stronger. So if you want to get something better or whatever, or deeper pose, you got to twist at the thigh, at the hips. They will go back and forth and go out about that much. So you get a pretty good A stance out of this. No waist articulation, probably due to electronics or something. I'm fine with that. The arms will go up and down. Like I said, it has the same limitation that you saw with the Black Lion. And it does not rotate here. It rotates at this part, as you can see. Now, one thing they did add, I showed you the release on the back of the legs, but if you press this button, yes, this is actually a button, and it'll allow you to pull off the arms a lot easier than the other Voltron, the Legendary Defender one that we had to deal with. Of course, you got the elbow articulation, goes back and forth, so you can interchange any lion. And the head, well, it will twist at the waist too. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. I wish they had included a swivel up here just for that bicep rotation, but we don't have it. But you can twist the forearm and the wrist, which is a bit redundant, but, you know, some of the posts are gone. I do like that his head actually turns, which is something on Legendary Defender that I really wish they had done. As far as the sword, you can just take the red lion here, face that tab towards the slot that's in the top of his mouth, and there you go. One complaint I do have is with the shield. Now, you can get, the tab is on the inside of the handle. So you can't really get this pose. You can get it, but it's just in there loosely. To tab it in, you just gotta go into the jaw here, and now it's secure in there. I said as it falls out. There you go. Now it's in, but it's unlike the side. I guess that's more where a buckler would be if you were using that type of shield. So I don't have too much to complain about. Just I'm used to it being in the front of the fist, and it doesn't do that here. So now that we've formed Voltron here, let's go ahead and bring in Legendary Defender, because I'm not going to compare it to any of my other Voltrons. It just does not scale with those. They're smaller, but here you have him next to Legendary Defender, and I'm going to spread his wings. So with the wing spread on Legendary Defender, it's higher, but honestly in height, they are very similar. It's only a bit, I'd say, just maybe like a half an inch with the horns on Legendary Defender that is higher than the classic version. So, I mean, this is just a really good... I love seeing these two guys together, like old and new. Maybe we'll get a DreamWorks episode where they somehow meet the original team or the old school team or another dimension. We have done some dimension crossing. We've seen Zen. So, I don't see why they couldn't. So, yeah, I mean, just look at these two guys together. So final thoughts on this guy. He's fantastic. I love the articulation, the old school design. He's got a little bit of heft to him, but not a lot. I mean, he's got kind of that lighter feeling that you got from the other Lions, but it doesn't feel cheap to me. I know some people said it feels cheap. It does not feel cheap. But for the price that you're paying, this is a really affordable Voltron. Stands very tall. One of the largest we've had so far. I don't have the Solar Chigokin set. Now, I do have my Solar Chigokin Megazord over here. And if this is any indication of what the Voltron version looks like, it doesn't scale with this. I do like big butts, and I cannot lie. Shout out to Show Enough Studios. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Like the video if you did, or don't like it. Give it a down. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JasonTheX. And of course, guys, go to cineleaks.com where you can see us write stories on entertainment and things of that sort. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me for this review. I hope it didn't run too long. When I do these big time reviews, it always feels a little bit awkward than when I'm behind the camera. But guys, go check these out. I mean, $18 a Lion and $30 for Black. It's pretty affordable for what you're getting, I think. Anyway, guys, catch you later.